6540 contact tower 120.9, good day.
120.9, have a good day.
Southwest 1310, when able to confirm, Sky Urban Side, 12 o'clock.
Good site, Southwest 1310.
Southwest 1310, clear visual approach runway 7 right, maintain 210 knots until Balti.
210 to Balti, clear the visual, 7 right, Southwest 1310.
Southwest 2157, approach, expect the visual approach runway 7 right, maintain 270 knots till advice.
270 knots until advised.
FedEx 1728, visual 178.
FedEx 1728, heavy tower, everyone, 17 right, clear to land, 120.15.
Clear to land, 17 right.
Exec Jet 728, change to my frequency 132.42.
132.42, Exec Jet 728.
4 Papa Kilo, Roger. 2 areas of moderate precipitation at 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock, and they start in 5 miles, extend for about 10 miles.
On departure, climb maintain 1010,000.
I will expect vectors, I maintain 1010,000, Southwest 1822.
Hello and welcome to the SimHanger. My name's Mark, the SimHanger for all things flight sim related. And welcome also to a newly released airport for Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's London Southend, Echo Golf Mike Charlie. It's the second airport release from Pilotplus, a small developer known for its attention to detail, and it certainly doesn't disappoint on this occasion. Their first release was Wickham Airpark, a small GA airport northwest of London, and in fact is my favourite GA airport, so I was keen to have a look at what they would do with something substantially larger. The ATC chatter that you heard during the introduction is an add-on and not part of London Southend. Links in the notes below.
Southwest 18, correction, Southwest 859, reduce me to 210, cutting approach 120.4.
Well, we're down and parked, so let's take the opportunity and have a look around. Pilotplus's Wickham Airpark was basically a work of art, and what impressed me was the attention to detail. Well, right from the get-go, I can tell you that London Southend actually surpasses Wickham Airpark. I haven't been to London Southend Airport for about 18 months, but from what I recall, the accuracy is great. As you've seen, the tower is fully reproduced. Whilst this may not be important to many simmers, it does highlight the attention to detail paid to this airport. But it's not just the airport that's benefit, it's the surrounds as well. London Southend has a train station, and that hasn't been ignored. And the advertising billboards, well, they're just a nice touch. Pilotplus's London Southend will cost you around $20 or just under £15, and is available from Orbix, and I assume coming to Microsoft Flight Simulator Marketplace in the new year. At the airport just close to the train station is a full retail park, and that's beautifully represented as well. And in my opinion, the attention to detail all around the airport, not just on the apron, is what sets Pilotplus apart. Hold on a minute. Look how that car's parked, so that's where I left it. I wonder where it left the car. It appears the whole airport has been faithfully reproduced, and if retail therapy is not for you, well, you can always grab a bite to eat. Unfortunately, YouTube will only allow HD resolution 1080p for uploads, but looking at this on my 4K monitor, well, it's just amazing. No detail has been ignored right down to the signage. This airport is actually run by a private company, Stobart, and they have a separate control tower. This is it. London Southend is a little bit of a misnomer as a name, as London Southend is really on the southeast coast, something between 35 to 40 miles from the centre of London. Until recently, London Southend was a main hub for both Ryanair and EasyJet, as well as a number of other smaller carriers, and offers both freight and passenger service. EasyJet are withdrawing from Southend, but currently the airport's full of their aircraft because they're not flying at the moment. Now, through this gap, there's something special. It's a Vulcan, and I know there's one still operational in the UK. I'm not sure if this is it. If you do, please let me know in the notes below. I'd be fascinated to know. Does this beautiful bird fly? And Pilotplus's reproduction is just stunning. As you can see, I've got AI traffic enabled. We'll also be jumping into the air very shortly and taking a look at altitude. On the other side of the airport, the level of detail remains unchanged. This is a combined maintenance area as well as a business park. And there's a whole lot going on this side of the airport as well. I had planned to get this video out earlier, but I spent so long looking at the airport. There's a surprise round every corner. We've jumped into the Zlin Shock Ultra. It's a slow bird but perfect for taking in the scenery. And just now we'll give it a try in VR as well. I do like bush flying, and the Zlin Ultra is one of my favourites. And as you can see, today we've got it kitted out in the test pilot livery. As can be seen here, Pilotplus have paid attention to the surrounds of the airport as well. It blends in totally seamlessly. I've just taken off from runway 23, and let's turn back and have a look at the airport. I've got an 8700K and a 2080 Ti, and I can tell you, for me, it's totally frame friendly. What I'm going to do is just pause it here in midair, and let's have a look at what it looks like with a bit of snow around. In fact, at the time of recording this, the UK is getting a little bit of snow. And for some further up north, well, they got a white Christmas. Doesn't that look great? That's a fantastic view. Let's also have a look at some of the night lighting, because that hasn't been ignored either. Let's just push the slider along and let's get to dusk and see what that looks like. Here we go. In addition to the PBR, the dynamic lighting is fully in effect at this airport and beautifully reproduced. Anyway, enough of that. Let's jump into VR and see how we do in VR. I'm still in the Shock Ultra, and I'm going to overfly the airport and see if I can buzz the tower. Strictly illegal, of course, but hey, that's the beauty of flying in a simulator. I'm not sure if Pilotplus have done the houses surrounding the airport, but they're exactly what we would expect to see. Now coming over the airport, I've got my render scaling on 70%, and I must say it's super smooth. I am aware some of the recording, I'm using the NVIDIA screen capture. Following a recent update, it's not great, but it appears this airport, despite all the detail, is frame friendly for VR with moderate to high settings. So in conclusion, what can I tell you? Well, you'll obviously form your own opinion. Different simmers have different needs. Pilotplus has provided me with a review copy of Southend, but I can assure you this in no way affects my opinion and views. And as you've probably gathered by now, well, yes, I'm impressed. Well done, Pilotplus, for attention to detail, accuracy, and quite frankly, sheer enjoyment. London Southend for me, well, it's top tier. If you fly in this part of the world, well, it should be on your get list. This is a 9.5 out of 10. It's 5 stars and comes highly recommended. As always, thank you very much for joining me. I hope you found this useful and informative. Bye for now.